Hey there, Dream Chasers. This is Hannah Pryde, and welcome to Pryde Shine, the podcast where we explore the innovators and influencers of Dubai. Proudly sponsored by Pryde Migration, your dedicated partner to make Dubai your reality. Welcome to the show, Courtney.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice to see you.
As always.
As always.
As always.
Going on like I've never met you.
I know, it must be quite weird.
I have a friend.
So as most of you probably know, especially the UK, this is Courtney Black, the fitness influencer that took everyone's screens during lockdown.
Yeah.
I think you're on everyone's TVs. Do you know what I read just before I met you? It's 2025 next year and COVID was 2020.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Like,
I actually commented on a girl's post the other day and she was like, she's not been to the gym since lockdown or whatever it was. And I actually just went gyms are so 2020. And I thought, oh, is that even like long ago? Like long enough ago? Was it 2019? Like,
yeah, no, genuinely.
Ages ago, yeah.
It's ages ago. Like, I just read it in the car meeting you and I was like, wow, we're going to the next century. And people still speak about COVID if it was yesterday.
To be honest, it does feel like it was a long time ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
But then I'm still like remembering things and we still compare ourselves to things that's happening in lockdown, I think.
I work in the real estate industry and
Yeah.
people are like, COVID prices. I'm like, that was a worldwide
Yeah,
pandemic.
no,
That's
yeah.
never, ever going to happen again.
Yeah, well,
you can't keep doing that.
Not the same, but I obviously, like, people come to me and they're like, they don't look the same as in COVID, and I'm like, do you know what, I'm guilty of that as well. And I just think, oh God, we weren't doing anything, you know?
All we done was had to look at ourselves in the mirror.
Yeah, I'm
There
not as
was
busy as
no-
in COVID. Obviously I'm not, because nobody's like just sitting there buying into a workout, you know?
I know, but then do you know what? You had such an interesting story and you've spoken about it on so many podcasts, but you built something during COVID and you worked so much for free, and we've touched about it on this podcast so much,
Yeah.
about people moving to Dubai and them not doing enough work for free at the start to build their business, or
Yeah.
just thinking they can charge a ridiculous amount.
I'm guilty for it, to be honest with you. Like, since I've moved here and I want to obviously get my presence a bit bigger here, I'm kind of in the same thing. I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it then. But
Yeah.
I think that's because I'm so busy with my UK business, right? And I'm kind of like, you've got to see what's going to actually generate some
Yeah.
new users and stuff, yeah, and actually generate some new followers and generate some new business. But you have got to remember that you've got to do in Dubai what you do in the UK. So you might have built your business incredibly in the UK, but kind of you're starting at a whole new audience now.
I know, and do you know what? That's the best thing you could ever say on this podcast, because a lot of people don't understand that.
Yeah.
And you've obviously built something that's online presence. So most people that maybe have an online business would think, oh, well, it's the same. Mm-hmm. But even the algorithm and everything, we've spoken about it in the past.
Yeah, honestly, I actually think my Instagram has gone down so much since I've moved here.
Really?
Number one, because I do think, and I completely get this, by the way, I have become less relatable. I get that. Like,
Your life's
I live in
changed
the
so
sun.
much,
Do you know
though,
what
yeah.
I mean? And for me personally, if I was in England, people used to relate to me for the fact that I used to go out in my garden when it was snowing to get in my little thing, and like it was cold, going on my cold walks and stuff. And I get it now. I live in the sun, but I do get that.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a big difference, but also, like, I think here, when I don't know if this is true, but when you're posting, I think it posts to a Dubai audience more than a UK audience.
It 100% does. And think there's a 4-hour time difference. So if
Yeah.
you're posting at 12 here, it's 8 a.m. back home.
Yeah.
So I know some people that have started up businesses.
I go to bed at 7.
Yeah.
I can't do any evening posts.
It's basically afternoon back
Yeah,
home
I
now.
posted about a sausage casserole this morning. I forgot it was 8 in the morning in England. No one's going to look at that and fancy a sausage casserole.
But do you know, that's the thing, like, I've spoken to a lot of business owners that have to have a social media manager in the UK and a social media manager
Yeah.
in the UAE, and it's just these
What do you
little
think
things
about
people-
social media managers?
I've just had a meeting with mine, and like, I struggle with it. I'm not an influencer, but obviously my job and role, having a podcast, being in Dubai, and Instagram now has become such like a new LinkedIn, hasn't it, for our generation? And I'm shit at it. I've got no interest in it. I fucking hate
I
posting.
think for a business like platform like
Yeah.
yourself, I think it's perfect because you're going to have that generated content anyway, like you do the car videos and stuff like that, right? But I think for someone like myself, I've tried it before when I've had someone try to help me. Their ideas are not my ideas.
Yeah.
And as well, like, I don't want to pre-record weeks and weeks of content. It's dated, like.
But then, do you know what I've heard from other friends like ours that are influencers and whatnot? A lot of them are doing like pre-recorded posts. So let's say your Instagram for your fitness workouts and whatnot. You obviously do so much content for your app, which we're going to touch on, but they'll pre-record that, post that on their social media, and that'll be given to the social media manager.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that doesn't need to be now present, and then they'll take the post that they're maybe doing like the carousels
More
or the
organic
reels.
ones, yeah.
They'll do them, but they'll maybe post a day or two later than it was done. But they'll
Yeah.
maybe do to the post, and then their social media management do the rest, which is quite interesting when they
But
told me
even
that.
not posting in real time throws me off. I don't know how
Maybe
people
you're like-
do that.
It's like a control freak thing.
Honestly, I take a picture or I take a video and I think, I completely forget about it. If I don't post it then and there, I completely forget about it. I look at my phone and I've got like a post album of like 30 posts, and I'm like, I just need to post it then and there when I think of something.
And I bet your whole business model and everything since moving to Dubai from the UK has changed. Like, you've already touched on that you're completely unrelatable now, and you're at a complete different time zone. And I bet they were an aspect you thought about when you moved to Dubai.
No, like, as I said earlier, cooking a sausage casserole in Dubai when I really don't want to be eating a sausage casserole, but I know that people want that recipe in England. It's hard to think about, because I used to get really good inspiration in England, like workouts to do when it's cold, like recipes to do when tips at cup. Honestly, like, it's boiling. Like, I'm covered in sand. Like,
I just want ice cream.
yeah, I just want a salad. Someone actually tagged me in something the other day, and she said that I was unrelatable in her story, and I actually messaged her a really nice message, going, not being like a bitch or anything. I was like, I actually genuinely am really interested. Like, why do you think that? But then I didn't see her next story was like, runs 10k in the sun and then posts healthy salad recipes, and I think, what's wrong with posting a healthy salad recipe? Like,
But it's
a nice salad with like
Yeah.
nice bits of food in it. Like, and I went to her, never mind.
But it is true, and I bet it's something that's now in reflection. You're looking at it and like, I didn't even think of these minor things, especially for your business. And now, like, when people say I'm moving to Dubai, I'm now saying to people, because what we found in my business, that people weren't understanding, and I was new to business at the time, that I couldn't tell them. But now I've had this feedback from other people. I'm trying to lay everything out, being like, it's a change. It's a big difference.
It's a massive change. Yeah.
And I think so many people from the UK moved that they think it's not that big.
Speaking, if you've got a team in the UK, all my team are in the UK, Scotland, like whatever, it's 4 hours, as you say. Like, if they want to do a meeting at 4 p.m, that's 8 p.m.
Babe, she's asleep for 6 p.m.
Yeah, I start work obviously at 7 here.
Yeah.
They're sound asleep. Do you know what I mean? I'm not getting a reply till 12. Do you know what I mean? So it's like
100%. But then, do you not find those few hours you get by yourself to do?
I love it because I'm a morning person. I film my workouts in the morning. So by the time I finish filming for my app and editing that, it's 11 anyway. So I've only got to wait an hour and a half, 2 hours before people get in.
Yeah.
So it's quite nice. I get to go on a walk and then get working. But as I said, I'm not an evening person, so it does kind of cut my day short. I'm sorry, but I've worked so hard my whole life. I'm not working till 8 p.m, 9 p.m. anymore.
Of course.
I'm not doing
and
it.
also, think you started your business when you were a young 20-year-old. Now you're getting.
I don't need to work till 8, 9
No,
o'clock.
not
Do you know
at
what I mean?
all.
I've built an amazing team now that I really do trust, and it's like I shouldn't have to be working till 8, 9 p.m. Like, that's not normal anyway to start work at 7 a.m. to finish at 8, 9. But I used to do it in England, but in lockdown and all stuff like that. But now I'm like, I'm finishing my day at 5.
And do you know what? You've been able to make an app, which your app's unreal. When you think of how much you've built that and how many users you have, and you've been able to get other trainers on it, it's not all about you anymore, Courtney. Although you're the name, you can outsource it.
Well, this is what we've been trying to do. Like, I've never wanted it to be all about me anyway. I kind of made the big mistake of calling it my name when I first built the app before COVID, because I never expected it to get as big as it was. My aim was 6,000 subscribers when I built the app, right? And that was very possible with my following that I had then and the clients and stuff that I had. And we actually got that on launch anyway. And then obviously COVID just boosted it, And then obviously it was a bit hard. Like, what do you do? Do you rebrand it? Do you rename it? But like, that's quite a big thing.
It's also meant to be really unlucky.
Yeah.
Like, it's meant
But then as well, you look at like John Lewis and
course.
Karen Millen and stuff, but it's like,
I think it's just positioning, because it's a mental block from yourself, because
Yeah.
it's your baby, it's your name, it's your baby, it's your brand, and you're always going to go back. My gran used to say, it's your name. But if you can take that mental blockage away and go like, do you know what? I trust you all. It's my name on it, but you're all trained to this capability.
my trainers are amazing. I'm not just saying this, I think they're better than me at trainers. Honestly, I've got really good motivation and I can really get people going, but they are unbelievable trainers, these people. They're like top in the industry. They've got such good like reputation. They're incredible. They're so good at like articulating. I just like, hey, I'm like Mr. Motivator. Which, look, personally, I like that in a workout. Like, I like that from a class. Do you know what I mean? So anyone that comes to my classes wants the energy and they want to feel good when they leave. But if you want a amazing trainer with still the same energy, like, that's why I've got these people on the app. They are insane. Like, these people, like, they're such good trainers.
And you know, the thing is, it's always, and we've spoken about it just briefly there, that but it is always given that like leveraging a release, like I do trust him, and you've obviously vetted them, I'm trying to find the word, vetted them so much that you know they're bloody good. And I've done one of your workouts recently on that boat you done, and bloody hell, I was about to be sick. I had to leave halfway through.
Alex, see?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, they're all unreal. And if you've got that energy, people like yourself, you're only going to attract the same type of trainers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you can't imagine that you're going to have someone shit on it.
No.
But at the same time, it's you having to be like, it's my baby, but it's going to be okay without me.
Yeah.
And let's be serious, when you're pregnant and get old, you're not going to be wanting to jump around like a kangaroo
Never
every
know.
day.
Quite like it, actually. Keeps me sane. The one thing I actually really love doing in life is filming for my app. Like, people think I'm mad. Like, I actually really miss it when I don't do it.
But do you know, I was speaking to her.
I'm like a psychopath. I take my dumbbells everywhere with me. I got called over once in Austria because I had a dumbbell in my hand luggage.
You're not right.
I know.
Honestly, you're not right. But it is interesting. It's a really interesting concept. And how have you found the app's growth since moving to Dubai? Have you got a lot more girls in Dubai coming?
No. It's not grown subscribers or anything since it. But as I said, I've not proactively been trying to grow my audience here at all, to be honest with you. Like, I've thought about things like, do you do a radio here? Do you do like ads here? Do you do whatever here? But it's all organic at the minute. I mean, I don't know, like, that's what we really want to tap into and seeing if we can expand it. But I have also always said, just because I live here doesn't mean I need to necessarily expand here. There is so many people in the UK that are not subscribed to my app.
You've not even touched the full market yet.
Exactly. So, like, back in lockdown, I went for a very, like, I didn't like this stage when I was trying to expand too much, and I was like, I need to get to America. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness. Like, and then you're trying to hit an American audience when I'm as British as they come. Like, I literally sound like Peggy Mitchell from EastEnders. Like, I don't think they'd understand my banter anyway, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I was trying to attract this whole new audience, but I hadn't even tapped into the whole audience that I've got in the UK yet.
100%. Do you know, that's a really interesting point, is people sometimes are so fixated on like getting to another country, global expansion, that they actually forget they're not even...
Especially with workouts though, because Americans, English, Australians, all over, right? French, I've been to a Barry's in France before, right? The trainers are so different. You've all got such different training styles. British are more... have a laugh, like a bit serious, and then can be a bit fun, our banter, we're very energetic, very lively, but then Americans are even more energetic.
I know,
but they're very
like us on
cracked up, you know, like, whereas I think if you like your classic from your country's training style, then you're more likely to go to an American trainer or an Australian trainer or a British trainer. I personally find it really hard sometimes to get an audience together that understand you as a trainer. Your clients need to understand you, they need to get on with you, and they need to like really benefit and get a lot from your workout.
Well, do you know what? I think not everyone's into training. Not everyone loves to go to the gym.
Everyone
like,
hates.
we
Most people
spoke
hate
about
it,
Molly May the other day. You said it's
Yeah.
that's a great relatable topic. Like, she's not into it, but if you go to a class and they have the same energy, like me and you can be sitting across. I hate going to the gym. I'm never there. I'm like, go away. But when I'm in your class, I'm bouncing off of you.
Yeah.
So I'll jump around.
It's so funny because I recorded that video like a week before, and then I was watching her YouTube video and I see that, and I was like, and when she was saying like she tasted blood and stuff like that when she was training, I was like, I know so many people that are like that. They detest it, like they hate it. You should still do it, like, but you just need to find a way that you enjoy it more. Like, even if that's not a workout, off a workout, just go for a walk or something. Like, she probably hates every form of exercise. I think her sister does like high rocks and stuff like that, right? You don't need to compare yourself to someone else. You don't need to do that level of training. Like, another thing, this is like the whole unrelatable thing. I train a lot, yeah.
You train so much, Courtney. Honestly, I think you're a Duracell battery at times. I'm like, how are you still going?
It's my job. Do you know what I mean? Like, a meeting for me can sometimes be doing a live workout for a company, or like hosting a workout for an event or a brand or something. I train a lot because it's my job. It's what I speak about. Like,
and also you're so passionate about it, and it comes through in everything you do.
Yeah, I actually do love it. Like, I'm not putting it on.
Of course. Like, imagine if you hate it and people are like, can you do a workout? You're like,
yeah,
genuinely leave me alone.
Yeah.
But that's like a huge thing, and it is going back to, you need to find something that you love. And I say to people, get back into, if you bloody are hating your life right now, do something you've done as a child that mentally stimulates you, that makes you like be happy again. Because some people like ourselves are entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs moving to Dubai, it can get so big and daunting, and you just get lost in it, and you completely lose yourself, like, in every aspect.
Thought just coming to my mind as well. Like, I'm so guilty of used to doing this, but I do think this is massive in Dubai. It's like when someone just like their whole world is dedicated to business development, right? And not just at work. Look, I'm massive on self-development books and all stuff like that, but all they ever read is self-development books from 9 to 5. They listen to podcasts with people, self-development. They listen to like YouTube videos. Then they're at work, and then they're not socialising with their friends, and they go into these like networking events. You are allowed to have a bit of normality, a bit of fun. 100%. Whether that means just reading a bit more of a fun book or watching a junk TV programme. I have a lot of serious stuff going on my day. Do you know how excited I get to read my fantasy book or put a bit of Love Island on? I don't need to constantly be educating myself and bettering myself. Do you know what I mean?
And the thing is, in Dubai, people get so buzzing off each other, so they think they should be doing it. Yeah. And then before you know it, like,
it's so draining. Honestly, it's so draining.
Then they hate it.
Have some fun.
Genuinely. And this is why I keep saying to people, if you don't like going to the gym, or you don't like doing fitness, or you fucking hate your job, do something you do like in the spare time, because it will change your mental health and everything drastically.
And that come across a bit like as well, like I'm saying, just have some fun. Like, it doesn't mean going out, like, doesn't mean like going out boozing or anything like that. Like, it means actually doing something that makes you feel good, not crap the next day like you do when you drink alcohol and like you come back and you've got a hangover. I mean something that's actually making, like you said, feel like an inner child again. It's making you giddy.
Legit, because you've been reading so many books while walking. Like, I see it. This
I
is
read
like
80 pages earlier on my walk.
All right, Dookie.
Crescent City and the Asteria are coming and they're bringing the angels down.
Like, I just would
sound like a lunatic. Like the Bat Boys, I love them.
But it's like that. Obviously, is your escapism. That's like your release and everything. Yeah. And when you're in Dubai, you're saying how hectic it is. Your boyfriend lives in a different country. Your time zone. Like, you need to have these escapisms to be like, this is. I'm doing it for the right reasons, because I'm sure you love Dubai and there's many things you love about Dubai, but there's also many things you bloody hate about it, in the sense your partner's not here. Yeah. And that's hard.
Dubai, for what I do, is incredible, yeah? Obviously, if Nathan was here, it would be absolutely amazing. London is my home. It's always been my home. I moved here because, one, I love the sun. Two, all my friends are here. I love being able to be active outside. Obviously, when you move a business here, it's tax-free. I actually haven't moved my business here, so that's a bit...
But then it's not, because it's good to get... You're a business owner, but you've moved to Dubai for other reasons. Yeah. But it's completely changed your lifestyle. But other people will move to Dubai that will have businesses in the UK or America or wherever. They can't always move their business here, but sometimes... We need to discuss the lifestyle and how that actually changes you as a person. Yeah,
well, I mean, I'm so much more productive with my work when I'm here. In the UK, I am productive, but in a different way. Like, I'm more productive with my team in the UK. I'm more hands-on with my team. They don't necessarily need me to be hands-on, right? And I do feel like when I'm here, I wake up and I get excited to film in my studio and excited to do my workouts, and I get a bit more motivated. And I'm more motivated to actually do it myself. Obviously, the sun's shining, right? There's always something to do with fitness here. Everyone's trying to be fit. Going for a run down Kite Beach on a Saturday or Sunday is so motivating.
Can I just say, someone put on their story at 6:30 a.m. on Kite Beach, being like, I thought there'd be no one here. I think it was the first time they'd ever gone. Yeah, and I legit replied, being like, babe, you have to go at 4 a.m. It honestly looked like people were doing a marathon and there was nothing going on.
Nath knows Nick, right? From back home. And we went the next day and I went, oh my God, it's going to be so busy here. And he went, it's 7 a.m. I went, did you not see Nick's story yesterday? And he went, I did actually. And I went, that was 7 a.m. Gonna get trampled on by run clubs. But so I love it though. I'd rather weave in and out. I love busy places.
So do I. And do you know what? It's one thing that I love going to Kite Beach at the weekend. Honestly, one of my favourite things. I just wish you could bring Rue, but can't. There's so many.
Take a dog there?
No, dogs aren't allowed on Kite Beach. Like, they're actually not. People do it, but they're not allowed.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, I know, it's really sad. You have to go to the one in Dubai Islands or
I get that though a bit as well, because there's loads of kids and there's loads of runners.
Oh, look how many runners are.
Yeah.
And think, in the last this year, I think I've seen about 10 new running communities.
There's so many run clubs down there. It's actually, it's a bit mad to be fair. Like, they've got like 80 people running down this tiny little path. It's dangerous.
And also, how's there 7 going at one time?
I know, it's
Think
dangerous.
of how hard
it
is to get someone around Hyde Park to the run club, far less 8 different groups with different nationalities, and none of them actually know each other and didn't know there was all these different groups at the same time.
It's so good though, it gets people together and stuff.
Yeah, it's a great way for forming relationships, I've been hearing as well.
Well, I can imagine. Yeah, you go to a run club, I don't think I'd be allowed to go to a run club.
Great. So obviously you moved yourself here, and then you had your app here, and we've spoken about the struggles and everything. What's it been like? You recently just dissolved Safina.
Safina.
I did that right. Safina. Tell us what has been the highs and lows of that, because that's for a lot of people that's the most daunting thing ever, and they always think like it's the worst thing you can do in business. But we've spoken about this before and we think it's a positive.
I should have done it sooner, honestly. I knew I thought about it for about a year before I'd done it, to be honest with you, and it was just the fact of I just didn't want to give it up. Like, I just was a bit like, I've worked on it for like a couple of years now. Like, I actually hadn't lost any money, but I hadn't earned any money. And at this point, it's an expensive hobby, right? Like, we're selling stuff out, but I really, really over-ordered the stock, the first 3 collections. I've done brand deals with, like, huge brands, like making collections for them for gym wear, and I just copy and pasted their orders, what they ordered. Oh my God, like, I'm not as big as Sports Direct, though. Like, I don't know what I was. I ordered a ton of clothes. Honestly, we still had them. Really? We still had them.
Well, do you know what? I still say to people, the gym sets that I have from yours, they're the best ever.
They're amazing.
They're
like, the quality was
amazing.
If I'm being completely honest, the reason that I started the brand was because I loved finding gym wear that was different, quirky, had cutouts, had leather bits, had mesh. And that was my goal for Safina, was to be kind of like, have you ever seen Bombshell Sportswear?
Yes, I have. Is that not like is that cut off from Opoly, or do they sell it?
Oh no, these are really expensive.
Oh, I've not seen it. I'm thinking of other ones. No,
it's an American brand, but it's amazing. Like, it's got cutouts, it's different. Like, you'll never see this piece anywhere else. So I designed all my pieces to be a bit different. It's hard to do that, right? Because a lot of people with gym wear just want basic. Yeah. And Bombshell was an American brand, right? And I think Americans are a bit more out there with their gym wear. Like, I love American gym wear brands. They're so good.
Well, when you go to Lululemon, I've got a lot of American friends. They wear like the bright coloured shorts, pants, like, and they're always tanned during the sun. Yeah. If you're in the UK and you're pale and looking like a ghost, you don't want to be wearing neon pink.
No, and so this is the thing. Like, I designed the first one with like gold rings, gold V's, and they was nothing you've ever seen before, and they was gorgeous, right? And when people got them, they loved them. But it's not like an Adenola, right, where it's everyone's going to like it. It's a basic, it's a staple. It's not a staple, it's got a gold bloody V at the front. Do you know what I mean? You got to be a bit quirky to wear it, you know? And I kept that up for a few collections, and then I still love doing it then. If I carried on designing it, it would probably still be here today, because I used to draw it on my iPad. Yeah. I used to test it all myself.
It's like a passion creativity project is what it started out with. And I think a lot of people start those type of businesses and they think they want it to be huge. And as soon as it's
I never wanted it to be huge.
Did you not?
I never wanted it to be huge. I was quite happy to just sell my stock, earn a bit, and then get people wearing it, and also just wear it myself. But where it started going wrong is I got a CD in, creative director, and they started like giving me, like, we really simplified it all down, which people loved, by the way, the core collection, right? People absolutely loved it. You've got it.
But that's what I'm saying. It's taken. If it was still you doing it, it's your passion project, it's your baby, it's for you at the end of the day, and it makes you happy.
Yeah, the cut was amazing, the material was amazing, but I don't wear plain clothes. Like I don't wear plain clothes.
Look at all the glitch she's got on today,
I
guys.
like funky colours, I like cutouts. I don't want to wear a plain top and plain leggings in the same colours on repeat. So then I was wearing other brands as well, and it's kind of just like I lost my passion completely.
And do you know what? That's fine. And that's you going, we've broken even, I've had a lot of fun from it, I've enjoyed it, but my taste isn't everyone's taste, and at the end of the day, you don't want to give that whole control away to a creative director. Most people are like, that's amazing, you've grown a business to be able to get a creative director, and that's what I meant when you wanted it to go huge. But at the end of the day, you can't do every single design.
And as well, I was dedicating hardly any time to Safina, I'm not going to lie, because I lost the passion. But when I started designing these clothes, I wasn't even doing that many hours on it then, to be honest with you. Like, I was probably doing 1 or 2 calls a week, and that's not enough for a business, right? Not enough. Like, you can't just get the samples in, get them out, and then expect it to start selling, you know? You need to be having, like, meetings with other brands and all stuff like that. I wasn't. Like, it was kind of just a rolling thing. And if I'm being honest, I did not have the time to spare to start a whole new brand, and I should have realised that when I first started it, because I've got a massive app. Like, our tech for the app is crazy. We've got, like, in-house developers, we've got our own back-end system. Like, I can't be running a clothing business on the side of that. It's just ridiculous.
You thought you were a superwoman?
It's just ridiculous, yeah. I mean, I spend 3 hours a day filming and editing workouts. Like, it takes me 2 hours at the minute to edit. I don't even get a video editor in. Do you know what I mean? Because I've got such control of, But
do you know what? Look at the bright side. You've done it. You can say you've done it. You've probably done a lot of learnings, and now you've dissolved it. You've had even bigger winnings because of the collaborations that have came through.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, people always think, oh, well, that's a bad thing, you've dissolved the business, but in your instance, it's been the best thing ever. And more
I could start working with companies again. Like, I've just done an amazing shoot with, I don't think I can name the name until it comes out in January. Really cool shoot with some other really cool people, like Adele Roberts, who's like run loads of marathons with a stoma bag. Ashley Kane, who's obviously daughter, and he's actually really cool, Ashley. Like, he's grown his beard out and he won't let anyone cut it because his daughter touched it. An amazing boxer, and it was such a cool like shoot, and like doing things like that again. And like, you just get such big opportunities because obviously I'm not tied down to, I can't promote another clothing brand.
And also it'll give your buzz back. Yeah. Because it's going
it's more
back
exciting,
to your, exactly, and especially you getting to go back and forth to
as well. That really opened my eyes, that shoot, when I went on this shoot, and the studio was huge. There was probably 300 people in there, a seamstress, a steamer, snack stations every corner. I thought, oh, shoots was not like this.
You're calling your mates and like, come on, come take a picture.
Yeah, literally, like everyone helped. Like, it takes a lot to grow a brand like that, right? It's not, and the companies do get lucky sometimes, but
I think it's interesting. It's just, you know what? It's a story. It's part of the journey, and if you liked it, you liked it. But I think I follow the girl that owns Odd Muse, and she's saying right now that she's having breakdowns on TikTok.
But that was me in lockdown. Honestly, I had a counsellor and a therapist in lockdown. I was getting really bad imposter syndrome. I was having panic attacks. So when she posted that, I could completely relate to that. Like, she's smashing it. But she was me in lockdown with my app. Like, live, breathe the app, right? She lives and breathes that clothing brand, which is another reason why Amy's done so well.
She's done unbelievable.
Right? All she posts about is the app. Is Odd Muse, like, but she designs it all herself. She tailors it all on herself.
And can I just say, we both love that brand. Yeah. Anytime I wear that brand to work, and I think I have every single thing in the collection, I get stopped. Yeah. And I don't even know this girl. I feel like she's my friend. I'm like, oh my God, it's amazing.
It's amazing. And she's completely dedicated to it. But where I was going with that is, when my business was at its most successful, I felt good, don't get me wrong, so I knew that my business was doing amazing, I was enjoying what I was doing. But when I stopped filming and I come up to my little office in my house in Brentwood, and I sat at this desk and I was just like, oh my God, there is so much going on right now.
Really?
Like, I didn't know how to take negative feedback. I didn't know how, when someone even, something as stupid as didn't like a workout, I literally was having panic attacks and like, really bad. Really bad.
I didn't know that. How did you get around it? Like,
honestly, therapy really did help me.
Yeah,
really
everyone, and we have said it so much on this podcast, therapy is your best friend.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And speaking to someone that's already done it, and I'm sure probably now or in years to come, if someone that was starting a fitness or a clothing or any brands could now turn to you, and you could be someone like, I've done it, I can help you.
And I also moved back to London.
Yeah.
That really helped. Because I've grown up in East London, I'm from East London, and I moved to Essex when I was like 21. Yeah. And then lived on my own, and then I moved even deeper into Essex when I was 24, and honestly, I just felt so secluded. All I'd done was live, breathe, work. I went on a walk around the village that I lived in, and I mean, other than seeing my mum and stuff, like, I was even, like, I could never see anything, you know? Yeah. So it was kind of just, my whole life was work, and I think that's why I'd sit down of an evening and get so consumed by everything, like, to do with work. I would not stop working. I'd wake up in the morning, like, 'cause there's nothing to do there. Yeah. So I moved back to London, and I just felt like a bit more pep in my step, you know? Yeah. Like, I woke up in the morning, went for a walk, got a coffee, see people around, you know? And it gave me a bit of buzz back. And that's what I needed.
And you know, the thing is, I think anyone that's probably listening to this and thinking I'm going to start a business, they sometimes compare themselves to businesses that are 3 years old, 5 years old, 10 years old. They don't realise the journey at the start. And the journey at the start is what makes you love your business even more by the end. Because you put your blood, sweat, tears, and you are the sales manager to the marketing manager to the editor to every single account admin, it doesn't matter. And like, you can laugh at yourself when you look back, and I laugh at myself because we all laugh. Like, I cannot pronounce words, I cannot spell, I can't do anything. But at the start of our business, I
can't spell for nothing. Honestly, it's so bad. Someone actually told me off the other day. She went, I'm an English teacher, and you're influencing young people to say where wasn't and where weren't wrong. And I went, that's why you're an English teacher and I'm not.
But you do have to laugh it off, because some people get really embarrassed by it.
And I'm not an English teacher, I don't care. I've never tried to be like good with my spelling and stuff. I'm just not. Like, I'm good with maths.
It's authentic though.
Yeah, so I started my business, and when in the first stages of lockdown, my best friend was actually my PA, and it was just me and G for like ages until we started getting more people in. She's got her own businesses now, doing really, really well. But then I was writing out all the t-shirts, sending them out. I wrote out like 5 envelopes of t-shirts one morning, and then me and G was like lugging them to the post office. She was doing all sorts. She was like pretending to be like the PR person on the phone. Like, it was chaos, but that was literally the most fun time.
And especially now, Courtney, you have built a multi-million pound business. Like, what you have built in the last 5 years, and we're laughing at the start, it was COVID 5 years ago, but what you have built in that time, when you really reflect, you're like, me, you've done amazing.
Yeah.
But I bet the bits that you love now were the bits at the start when it was you and G in the office laughing like
in the office, in my 1-bedroom flat. Honestly, the sofa was here. I had about 1.5 meters where I'd done my filming, and then G would sit on the dining table here, which was like so. I was adamant to get a 6-person dining table in a tiny living room, which did not fit. Like, it was rammed up against the wall, and she had a Twix in her hand, eating it while I was doing a hip workout and running to the toilet behind me. Like,
but that's what made you, and that's where the whole passion came, and that's why your business. I honestly think, see the people that have hit rock bottom at the start and really pushed the limits and really just been like, fuck it, I'm going to put everything into it, and whether that be blabbing down the phone saying you're every single person under the fun, like, let me just do a circle and pretend, yep, that's you now speaking to this person, and you genuinely, that's what makes a business, and then that gives you the oomph to now be like, do you know what, the app's where it needs to be, because that's what you grew from your living room. It isn't something that's like came on, and it's probably the reason you're a little bit easier to let go of. Safina, sorry.
Don't worry, it's done now anyway.
Safina. But do you know what I mean? Safina, that's probably why it was a little bit easier. Can you imagine doing that to your app? You'd honestly probably break you because it is your baby. Crying thinking about it.
Imagine if something happened to it. I don't know, it won't.
Absolutely, it would.
We own everything.
But it is such like a journey to it. And you've obviously tapped into the real estate market and everything in Dubai. What has been your biggest learning curve since moving country? Because
it's brilliant. Honestly, it's brilliant.
I
can't get over it. Like, it's like a bit chaotic, don't get me wrong. Like, but I bought a villa in Tilal Al Gaf, which is just like, it's not expensive there at all. Like,
I mean, you bought it at the perfect time. You bought it off plan.
I've earned like
hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, like 200 grand English in a year.
Yeah, I know.
On it, which is, by the way, it's only like double that to buy. It's not like an expensive villa, you know. Well, it's expensive, obviously, but it's not like like in England, you'd have to pay like millions to get that sort of return in that amount a year. Like,
and you got into it.
Like, a flat in Chigwell for that.
I know, it's wild. And do you know what? It's interesting. I just want to briefly touch on it because you're a fitness influencer. Came over here, and like, I'll just put. You probably didn't know everything about it. You just trusted someone and said, I'm going to put money into it. I need an apartment. Fine. Yeah. And look how much money you've made.
To be honest, I just want to preface this by saying I don't have a clue about. I've obviously got my friend Aidan who does it, right?
And he's great, by the way. We love him.
I do think that if I wouldn't just be so reckless with it otherwise, right? Like, I trust him 100%, knows what he's doing, and he wouldn't sell me a dodgy deal. But I think you do get a lot of like dodgy scammers and stuff like that, so you've got to be careful. So anyone, don't just listen to me and just think that was going to be a great deal, because be careful.
Not. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, it's not.
Yeah.
But you have been able to see the outcome of it and the forecast, and it's probably benefited your journey to Dubai, because there is obviously some downfalls that we've briefly touched on, but you've been able to expand your business in a different way and expand your portfolio.
And look, I've always wanted to get into property. Like, when I was living in Brentwood, I used to read so many property books, but it's quite daunting, right? My boyfriend's actually in property, so he's gonna laugh when I say this, but like, me reading my property books, he's in commercial property, and I'm just like, I told him about the villa, and he was like, oh, that's really good. He probably thinking, oh, mind your neck, and you've only bought one little thing. But I think property is really exciting. I've always loved it.
And it's, as I said, it's opened another avenue. You moving to Dubai, it's allowed you to expand your business in probably a way that you wouldn't have probably done in the UK. And that's all I was kind of briefly
the property
touching on.
market's so up and down in the UK.
But I mean, it's probably a little bit more steady than Dubai. Dubai is definitely steadying out because you don't get the same opportunities with off-plan and whatnot, you've had. But what you've been
able to... But you
don't
know in England with the current state, with inflation and all stuff like that, mortgage rates, like...
Do you know what I read the other day? That the UK is behind China in the most millionaire migration out of the country. And when you look at the size of China compared to the UK, you can see why that maybe now people... I would never say they're not scared of investing in the UK. It's the UK, of course. It used to be the best country in the world. It's going to be amazing. However, people are now are being more opportunity driven, and they're coming to the Middle East, America, Europe. They're just going and making their money work for them more.
It's so expensive in the UK.
Yeah.
Like, so expensive in the UK. To like live in London, it's a fortune. Like, it's not doable, do you know what I mean, to get like the space that you need.
And the thing is, I
love the UK though, I'm not gonna lie.
You do love the UK.
I love it.
And that's
I love the greenery.
The fresh air.
Yeah, the fresh air.
But it has been interesting though, because you've come to a country that's so fitness orientated.
Yeah, I love both. I honestly love both countries.
But for you you love both, but your business is still in the UK and you've not had that push to come over here, move it, and I don't think you should.
I'm not gonna.
It's changed your lifestyle and you've been able to open and access another business avenue, and you've still got the UK as your home growing.
And as well, for me, like my team, I'm really close to my team. Like I actually see them like my family, and so for me, I want them to always be like happy, secure, and whatever. And I do feel like they're just going to feel a lot more secure with the business being in the UK.
For sure.
I don't need to move over. Do you know? Like,
and I
to be
think
honest,
it's really important that people understand that you can come over here, live a lifestyle, have a business, maybe start another business or tap into other avenues to make money or have your money work for you. But at the end of the day, you don't need to follow everyone. Just because you move country, you don't need to move here, because it'd probably be more detrimental in some ways for your mental health, growing a team again, doing it all again, moving to Dubai when you've already got a really successful business in the UK.
Exactly.
Be happy with what you've got. That's what I say to people. And that's what I really wanted to focus on and just be like, well done. Don't follow the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Legit. But thank you so much for coming on. You've been a superstar.
Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Thank you. That was perfect, Court.